Internet people, this is Lloyd from Historic Outdoors. Today we are in my study, which means firearm review day. And what do we got today? Well, Christmas came and went, and my mother sent me a couple of Cabela's gift certificates, about 200 bucks worth. And I took them to Bass Pro Shop and swapped them over and got myself this thing. Kind of an odd shape for a firearm, but there you have it. So let's dig into the box and see what there is. I also got myself a trigger lock. That was a couple of bucks, but it's because I don't like the trigger locks that normally come with firearms for free. It's just a legal requirement and they're made by the lowest bidder. So anyway, this is an Italian firearm made by a company called Chiappa, or Chiappa. I don't know how to say it. Maybe you do, so tell me down in the comments whether this is a Chiappa or a Chiappa. So, when we open the box, we get a trigger lock key, or what, I don't know, works on these little trigger locks. Not much of a key, not much of a trigger lock. That's why I buy these combination ones. So, what do we got here? We got a bunch of paperwork, got a bag, set that aside for a second. Firearm safety form from Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Buy responsibly, use safely, store securely. The fundamentals of firearm safety. So, they give you a piece of paper just because they don't want the liability of you shooting yourself in your foot if you were that dumb. We won't go over the firearm safety rules because we'll just assume that you know them. And if you don't know them, learn them. Just not from me. So what else have we got? We've got some kind of bag. And the bag is in a bag. And speaking of safety, don't let children play with these plastic bags, because, well, honestly, if your kids are that dumb. Anyway, enough said. So, there's a bag. It's got some Velcro. It's like a little backpack, and it's got a badger on it. And it says Chiappa Little Badger, which is the name of this rifle. So I was originally going to manufacture something like this in my shed. And I looked up the legalities of manufacturing firearms in Canada. In order not to run afoul of the law, one would need a permit, a business license to manufacture firearms, which is 12 or 1300 bucks a year. And I was going to manufacture a break action 22 or a bolt action 22 just for kicks. And, well, thanks for keeping us safe, government. I went out and bought this for like 200 bucks instead of paying for a manufacturing license. So, as much as I think it would be fun to kind of manufacture your own simple firearm, that's not what I'm doing. So, when you get rid of everything in the box, you get a cleaning brush. Well, that's kind of cool. It's not immediately clear to me that the cleaning brush is going to get all the way down the barrel. But that's okay because we got cleaning rods. So we're going to put the box aside, put the plastic bags in there, start looking at this paperwork. Firearm safety depends on you. NSSF, National Firearm Industry Trade Association. So this appears to be more safety stuff. Firearms responsibility in the home. Well, look at that. More safety stuff. So yeah, don't leave loaded firearms under the couch or on the coffee table. Keep them locked up. And they gave me a bumper sticker which says Chiappa or Chiappa Making history, past, present, and future. Apparently these guys do a lot of Old West guns and stuff like that. Well, that's pretty cool. So, a bumper sticker. And some other sticker. I'm not even 100% sure how to orient this. So I'll have to look up on the interweb. I don't know. It's a sticker. And then a user instruction manual. Which has got all the parts and stuff in it. Tells you everything you need to know about it. So, this is not much of a gun. This is not the kind of thing that I would normally buy. This is the kind of thing that I'd make in my garage. But that is illegal in Canada. Unless you're willing to pay for the permit to do so. Which is really expensive, so we're not going to do it. We bought this for 200 bucks instead. We're going to take this trigger lock off. This plastic thing. I don't know, some people use these on their handguns, but I haven't got much use for them. It's the kind of thing that with a screwdriver and hammer you can take off a lot quicker than using the key, but don't tell anybody I told you that. And off the trigger lock comes eventually. There we go. Plastic thing. Alright. So, we've got a plastic rear sight. Well, that's a little bit depressing. What do you expect? We got a plastic front sight. We got a little teeny tiny barrel with a sticker on it. And the sticker's got some kind of QR code and a bunch of numbers that I can't rightly see. There's some kind of threaded muzzle on this, which is kind of stuck, so I'm not going to mess around with it. Let's see, there's 4 Picatinny type rails on this, all the way around the clock. There's a piece of Picatinny rail back here, presumably that you can put like a grip on. There is a plastic butt plate and the ability to put a couple of 22 caliber rounds in the back of this. And I'm not sure how secure those would be. It might work good, might fall out. Not sure if I'd want to carry it through the woods with a bunch of 22 caliber rounds. It'd be good in the bag that way, but I would take them off and put them in my pocket. That way you're not dropping ammo going through the woods. The receiver here appears to be cast, probably. And it's got a lever here which allows you to break the action, put in a single round, and then close the action, and then pull the hammer back. That's got a pretty good trigger on it. Probably all of the money that went into manufacturing this went into the trigger, and everything else is no frills. Hard to say what the barrel's like. So, anyway, I'm not 100% impressed with the plastic sights here. It looks like the screw for windage is metal. It's held on with a C-clip. So, yeah, I'm going to bring in the camera and show you what I can of this tiny little rifle. So we're on the air again here, and this here's the little bag that you can break this thing down and fold it in. It's got a little badger on it there. I don't know, it's not really the kind of thing that I would use. I'd probably just stick this in a backpack as is, but if you're buying this gun as like a first 22 for a kid or something, I don't know, maybe that's kind of cute, maybe that's something to like. But yeah, the Picatinny on this is plastic, so I might take that off. I got some metal ones. I don't know if I can fit that on or not. I kind of bought this as a little project gun. I'm probably going to Bubba the heck out of it because it's a $200 gun, and I don't think it's going to retain any value. And like I say, I was going to build something like this in my shed or in my garage just for laughs. But the legalities of that are kind of out the window here in Canada, and I'm not going to start a firearms business just so as I can build some kind of post-apocalyptic wasteland gun. So like I say, I'm probably going to bubba the heck out of this. It's got some markings on the side here. It says Little Badger, Italy. I've never owned an Italian gun before, so this is first Italian gun. I've had lots of 22s. I've had like Canadian-made Cuis and had Remingtons. I got a Thompson Center in the safe there. It's got a serial number on it. It's got some kind of pictograms on it. 22 long rifle. Apparently these come in 17 Hornady and 22 Magnum as well, but this is just 22 long rifle version. On the other side here it says Chiappa Firearms, Dayton, Ohio. So I don't know. I'm not sure if it was imported into Dayton, Ohio and made in Italy, or if it was made under license in Dayton, Ohio. I'm sure somebody somewhere knows. And there's more pictographs on this. I kind of like, oh, it's got a half cock on it. Look at that. Full cock. Really nice trigger for what it is. Wire stock, kind of reminiscent to some of the, you know, the last ditch guns that they had in World War II. The Stens with the wire stocks and stuff on them. A lot of plastic parts on it. I'm not a huge plastic guy. So I might end up taking these off. I don't know what I'm going to do. But yeah, this is a fun gun. And I bet this would be a decent gun to take with you on a canoe trip or something. And so it folds up like so. And I guess if you wanted to take it down even further, you could take out this this hinge screw. Basically, it's two slotted screwdrivers. You can take that out, and it's kind of like a Chicago screw, I guess. One screw screws into the other. So you can take that out and break it down even more if you wanted. Yeah, not much I can say about this until I take it to the range. Not sure how it's going to shoot. Might shoot like garbage. Might be pretty accurate. Hard to say. But in the 25-meter range, I expect it's going to do what it says on the tin. It's probably going to hit things in the 25 to 50-meter range, and then past that, all bets are off. I might take this plastic buttstock thing off, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I'm going to do something with it. Like I say, it's probably going to be a Bubba project where, I don't know, I just play with it and see what I can come up with. So the only thing left to do now is to take this out to the range and see how it performs. It is January 23rd, and I don't know if the road to the range is plowed, so might be a few days or a week before I get in there. But through the magic of TV and the YouTubes, you'll get to see what happens right now. So it's a few days later and a few mail orders later, and I've kind of bubbaed the heck out of this thing like I said I was going to do. Wouldn't say that it looks like a classical firearm in any sense, but I'll zoom the camera in and show you some of the stuff I did to it. So the first thing I did to this, I don't like wire stocks that much, so I took some leather that I had and I kind of sewed in some leather here to cover the wire stock. So it's a piece of leather that, well, two pieces of leather laminated together and then stitched at both ends. But fits inside the wireframe perfectly, and then two pieces that wrapped over it and stitched through, and then kind of some leather thong wrapped around here just to clean up the ugly. So wire stocks tend to get cold and pressing your face against them. Not a lot of fun, so I wrapped it with leather because I thought that'd be interesting. Next thing I did is I put this vertical pistol grip thing on, In order to do that, I actually had to modify these side rails. I'm not sure what you'd use the side rails for on this, but I found a use on the other side. But anyhow, yeah, I had to carve a little bit out of these, which I just did with a farrier's knife, and then touched it up with a file. And this thing here, it's got like a battery storage compartment in it. I'm not sure why you'd need one of those, I guess. Maybe if you had a flashlight or something. But anyway, and then it's got these side plate things, and they no matter how tight you get this bottom piece, they kind of clack around a little bit, so I put a piece of green duct tape over it. When I bought this, I thought that there was a bolt that went through here, but it didn't come with it, or it had fallen out of the packet or something. Anyway, I didn't get it. But anyway, it tightens up on the bottom rail when you screw in this this bottom piece here. I actually made a walnut pistol grip stock for it, but what I found was it doesn't fold very well with the pistol grip stock on it and this stock here. And in fact, I don't know if you can see it there, but with this pistol grip stock on it, the ejector doesn't come all the way out. So I may remove this, and hard to say. But anyway, I thought it would be interesting with one of these on it, just to carry through the woods. But I guess it's probably going to spend most of its time in a backpack or in the bottom of a canoe or something. Put a red dot on it. Not much of a red dot. I've had this for a couple of years now. It's not very powerful. It's good and accurate. Doesn't lose accuracy, but sometimes you have a hard time picking up the dot in bright lights. Next thing I did is I put a birdcage flash hider thing on this. They normally go on like AR-15s. This is a 22, so it's going to fit perfect. I think it's like a 1/2 by 28 thread. Anyway, the plastic thread protector on this was absolutely garbage, and it didn't thread on. It just kind of was friction fit on. I'm sure there was some threads in there, but they didn't work. So I got this. They're like 20 bucks. I think this was probably made to be used with a suppressor, which is an illegal, prohibited device in Canada, which doesn't make sense because my car's got a muffler, my lawnmower's got a muffler, my snowblower's got a muffler, but put a muffler on your gun and you go to jail. So I put this on. In order to facilitate that, I had to use 2 crush washers, because no matter how I tried to time this, not that a birdcage needs to be timed on a 22, but I'm a little obsessive compulsive. But to get the center cut on the flash hider, center in the top of the rifle, I had to use 2 crush washers, and then I had to tighten that up quite a bit. And then for a sling on it, I had originally made one, but I don't know, I didn't really like it. It was longer and heavier than I had anticipated. And to facilitate putting the sling on, I got this sling thing that goes on this Picatinny rail, and that just goes on with like 1 screw and a bit of Loctite. And then I got this surplus sling off of a PPSH submachine gun at the Army Surplus for 15 bucks. And just to keep it from flapping around, again, I put some green duct tape on it. And yeah, that's all the bubba that I have done to this little Chiappa Badger. So haven't gotten it to the range yet, because the road to the range is not plowed, and I've been getting a lot of ice storms, and my little car's not going to make it up there. So anyway, that's what I did to this little survival rifle. It's no longer 2.9 pounds, probably, I don't know, 3.5 or 4, but still not much. So anyway, that's all the weird things that I did to it to kind of make it look like a post-apocalyptic wasteland gun. And next step is to put some 22 ammunition through it and see how it shoots. So I put about 10 rounds through it just to sight in the red dot. It's not 100%, but it's close enough for what I want to do. And using CCI mini mags today, and having a little bit of an issue. I'm sure you'll see some here in a second. Put my ears on. in the pipe, close it up, and I'm using this grip thing here to push against the sandbag. It's working pretty good. We'll cock the action and squeeze one off. Light strike. This has happened every single time I've fired one of these CCI mini mags. And then consistently it fires on the second attempt. So doesn't like hard primers, or the hammer's got to be adjusted or something. I will say this grip thing interferes with the ejection. Not that it ejects, you gotta kind of do it by hand. But. So we're gonna fire 5 rounds. Oh, look at that. Went first shot. Maybe I'm starting to break it in. Don't know. How many's that? 3? I don't know. Not counting. Got 1 left on the table here. We'll feed that to her. See what happens. There we go. Well, it's starting to work a little bit better. So about the first 10 rounds through it, wasn't firing on the first strike. Had to strike the primer a second time. So I don't know if it just needs to be broken in, or if it has a hard time with this type of ammo. But let's go see what we got. So we're all pretty well close to the middle. This looks pretty good. Looks pretty good to me. A couple here, that's probably me. And I don't think the red dot is perfectly zeroed. I'm only at 25 meters, so I should be able to take the middle out of that like consistently. But the fact that all of them are in this area tells me that if I had a better red dot on it, or if I had eyes that were 20 years younger, this thing would be a little tack driver. I don't know. I'm gonna put 5 more through and see what happens. So, I'm gonna pull 5 more rounds out of the box here. And well, we'll see if it continues to have problems eating these primers, and we'll see what the target looks like after 10 rounds. Put some eyes and ears on here. Light strike. Light strike. That one worked. I wonder if it's just a bad batch of ammo. Hard to say. I don't have anything else except for CCI mini mags with me today, so I can't test another type of ammo. But I do have another box that came from a different batch, so. Well, let's see what it looks like after 10. So after 10, I kind of held off in the bottom here a little bit, as much as I could, but I still seem to be grouping up here, so I probably got to adjust that red dot a little bit. Like I say, again, because of the consistency, the thing is probably a tack driver. Any circular error probability is probably me, and it's probably because I only put 10 rounds through to adjust that red dot, so I could probably dial that in a little bit more, and this could probably even be tightened up a little bit too by a better shooter or somebody with more patience. I'm just kind of, it's really cold here today, so I'm shooting pretty quick. But definitely take a partridge. I don't know if it would take a squirrel. It would take a squirrel, but you may want to hold your breath. So anyway, we're going to open that other box of ammo and see if it likes it better. So, got another box of CCI mini mags here. Yeah, we'll just take 5 out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, these ones seem to be hollow points, so I don't know if that'll affect anything. Theoretically, this should be better for hunting. So, we'll try these out and see if it'll like those primers better. Eyes here, here. Oh, cold, windy. No, doesn't like these either. Same thing. It's failing to fire on the first attempt, but the second attempt always seems to work. So if you're going to use this as a survival gun, probably a good idea to find an ammo that it likes. Or maybe I just got a bad gun. I got another 22 with me. I'll try a magazine through that and see if I have the same problem. Well, there you have it. 5 rounds, different box, CCI mini mags, and same thing. Light primer strike, and it fired on the second attempt consistently, very consistently. So it either does not like the CCI stuff, or there's something wrong in the internals of this. So we'll have to check that out and come to a conclusion. I don't have any other ammo to try today, so next step is get some of that, I guess, and see what the results say. So I got another 22 caliber here. I'm gonna try this ammo and we'll see if we have the same problem. Take the safety off. Doesn't seem to be a problem when we use a different 22, so definitely the issue is not the ammo. The issue is definitely in the internals of the gun. So this is a sample of one, as they say. Something to be aware of. So I just had a run of good luck. I've got about 50 rounds through this gun, and it is decided that it's going to start running these CCI mini mags. So I'll turn the camera on again, and I'll see if I can get it to run flawlessly like it did the last 5 or 6 rounds. Nope. It's possible that this gun just doesn't like the cold, and it runs better when the barrel gets a bit warm. I don't know what the temperature is today, but it's pretty cold with the wind. February. Yeah, so I don't know if it's just broken itself in or if it doesn't like the cold. So I guess I'll have to try it again in the summer, but then by then it would be broken in, wouldn't it? But there's definitely something going on. Whether it's the gun, whether it's the weather, whether it's the ammo. It's probably not the ammo, because the other rifle just ate that up. But the more I shoot this, the better it seems to be getting. So just something to be aware of, I guess. Yeah, so that's 10 or 11 more, and it had 2 light strikes. Better than when I first started. So yeah, that's I don't know, 50, 60 rounds through it. I'm not sure how many I put through it, but it seems to be working better. So whether it likes it better when the barrel's warm in this cold weather, or whether it's just starting to break in, I don't know. We'll have to test it again on another day. But what I have concluded today is there's a bit of a break-in period. Makes more sense. I can't see why the cold would affect it, but hard to say. So we're back from the range with the Chiappa Little Badger. Not a bad little gun once you get it working. I'm still not 100% certain why it was not liking those CCI mini mags. My best guess is it's a break-in problem. I don't think it had anything to do with the cold, and I'm pretty sure it didn't have anything to do with the ammo. So probably it's just a bit stiff, so time will tell on that. The modifications that I did to it, I thought this thing was going to be absolutely a horrible plan. Once I got it on there, I thought, Jesus, that looks like hell. But it worked out pretty good. The road to the range wasn't plowed, so it's really, really good to hold on to offhanded, just to, to carry the gun into the range. Had a bunch of other stuff too, targets and stuff. And it's not metal, it's plastic, so it wasn't friggin' cold today, so that's not too bad. Also, these mechanic gloves, first time I used those today, they're like a 0.5 mil shooting glove. A lot better than the other ones, so that helped too. But the other thing that I was able to do, I was able to monopod off of this when I was shooting. Just let it sit on the bench and kind of push forward into the sandbag. So that worked really, really well too. I thought it was going to interfere with ejecting, but it ejects enough. So not a bad idea, I guess. I had originally thought I might put an angled foregrip on it, but you have to modify these side rails to put any kind of grip system on the bottom here. So you got to carve some off the bottom of those rails, and to do that, to put the angled foregrip on, I was going to be able to put this sling attachment on the side. So like in life, everything is a trade-off. Depends what you want. The sling was pretty important for me. So yeah, I thought this was going to be, the latest in a series of bad ideas, but it worked out quite well for me. The leather on the stock came in quite handy today. Putting your face up against a metal wire stock when it's minus 10 or minus 15, not the most comfortable. The plastic shell holder back here that holds the 22 shells holds them fairly secure, but again, I don't really use it. I just, even if I was in the woods, it would be really, really difficult for me anyway to reload from here. I made a pistol grip for it, but I don't think I'm going to use that. It's pretty comfortable just to use as is. I'm not 100% sure why you would need a pistol grip on this, but if you didn't want to put the forend on it, it might work out quite well. The bird cage on the end, a lot better than the plastic thread protector. I got the dot sight dialed in fairly well, but it's not the most accurate dot sight. So I don't know. It's pretty hard to rate this fairly. For what it is, it's a rifle that's under $200, and it's designed for a very, very niche market. So if this was just an off-the-shelf rifle that you thought that you'd be going hunting with all season, would probably score quite low on a scale of 1 to 10. It'd be inadequate. Of course, it's a break action single shot. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just no frills. Pretty nice trigger, but this is not something that you're going to buy to do any serious small game hunting. So it's marketed as a survival rifle. So if you got a bush plane, well, you probably have better options than this. If you're on a canoe trip, you can probably have better options than this. But if you're hiking fairly long distance, this might fill that niche. It's very, very, very light before you put all the stuff on it. They market it as 2.9 pounds. So, under 3 pounds, and it's not that much over with the stuff that I've put on it. So if you are in the kind of area where you're going to be hiking and you're going to be going from isolated wilderness areas, and maybe you're going to go through some areas that are populated by hikers, the kind of hipsters that wear puffy jackets and fancy $400 hiking boots that are going to be terrified if they see a firearm, you can fold this up and you can put it in a backpack. Nobody has to see it. And if you get into a place where there's a whole mess of rabbits or a whole mess of partridge, this is everything you need to take one down. But for a more serious survival situation, say if you're in a, on a float plane up north, or in a canoe where weight really isn't such an option, maybe a Ruger 1022 breakdown or one of the breakdown rifles is a better option. That said, this is pretty accurate. Just with a breakdown 22, it's going to break up, just as compact, and you're going to have the option for larger magazines, and it's going to be a bit more comfortable to shoot. This is a really good gun for a small stature shooter, though. If somebody is really small, you're trying to teach a 7 or 10-year-old to shoot for the first time. That big hammer going forward, for a smaller stature shooter, it might throw them off a little. They might shoot low. I don't know how much inertia it has. I didn't see that it was making me shoot low. But anyway, what can we give it? In its niche, it's probably, a 6 out of 10. But if you're comparing it to a normal hunting rifle, it's lacking in a few areas with the plastic sights and that, and you do have to do a little bit of customization to it to get it to exactly the way you want. That might be a bonus for some. I bought it as a project gun, but yeah, 3 or 4 out of 10 compared to any other 22 caliber on the market. But in that survival rifle niche, it bumps it up a little bit, and it's very, very customizable, and it's a very, very fun gun. And the price point, under $200. I've seen these for $189. I paid $200 for it. Basically $230 with tax. So it is what it is. If you think it's the kind of thing that you might like to own, I'm not going to lie to you. It's a lot of fun to shoot. It's kind of fun to get into a rhythm of breaking the action, pulling out the spent cartridge, and putting a new one in. So it's enjoyable for that. As far as accuracy goes, I don't know. I'll bring the camera in and show you what I did today. So as far as accuracy goes, it's not too bad. If I was a better shooter, it would be better. But when I was sighting it in, I was sighting in the red dot, and I kind of was walking them towards center here, and then I had a couple of wacky ones, and then finally kind of dialed it in, and then started shooting groups, and did pretty good. Once I was 100% confident that the sights were where I wanted it, I started shooting 10 round groups. And as you can see, at 25 meters anyway, they're all inside the body of a partridge, or all inside of the kill zone of a rabbit. I think that this one here, possibly this one here, these were the two best groups. It's not a 101 MOA gun by any means. I mean, with my other 22, I can shoot much better, and if you had a scope and a decent set of eyes on you, you could probably keep them all inside one of these orange dots. The red dot on that gun completely obscures the orange dots on these targets. So, not too bad for what it is. It's going to keep you fed, but you're not going to win any competitions with it. Or at least I'm not. You might be better. So, yeah, not too bad. Everything's within a, 3-inch circle, which is all you need for a survival gun. So there you have it. That's about all I can tell you about the Chiappa Little Badger. Time will tell whether the action kind of breaks in and it starts liking that ammunition that I have any better. But all indications are that 80%, that's the issue that I had with it. So would I recommend this gun to you? Well, if you like guns and you like interesting guns and you like the customized guns, and maybe if you need a really small compact gun, yeah, you might like it. It is pretty accurate. It does what it says on the tin. But if you need a serious hunting rifle for a survival situation, there are probably better options out there for you. Like I say, a breakdown Ruger 1022 might be better. But this is kind of neat. Has a a unique look, and I would recommend it for that niche role for somebody that kind of wants something a little bit different. But for serious hunting or serious survival situation, it'll get you by, but there's probably better options. That's what I'll say. But I quite like it. It's fun, no doubt about that. So if you liked the video, hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons. Share it around. Comment down in the comment section. Helps with the algorithm. And as always, if you don't like the video, share it with your enemies, and I will punish them for free.